Meanwhile, over on sheet C, a guard is removed. They actually were hoping that guard might cause a double, but it didn't. On sheet A, which is what you're still seeing, he successfully removes one of the yellow stones. But now that we're down to skip rocks, looks like Jack is just going to try to put up a guard. Okay, we are back online. I apologize if we lost anybody there for a minute. Not quite sure what happened there. All of a sudden, I got a notice that the stream was interrupted, and so I did a quick reset, and we are back on. Hopefully that did not erase the previous 2 hours of action. God, I hope not. All right, so let's see what we've got here going on. Folks are starting to wander into the warm room for the getting preparation for the 12 o'clock, and I would like to think more so for the delicious leftover barbecue. Jack Miller's delivering his first rock over on sheet A. He does have the hammer this end. You see that coming into play right now. And I think it goes a little deeper than he had hoped it would, but it's still in play, and it's not a bad spot. So Carelli has one more rock. And I think he's probably going to try and sit on top of that yellow, would be my guess, to try and limit the count. Meanwhile, over here on far C, yellow, we're just kind of moving stones around in front of the house. I'm not sure what the call was there. They may have been going for that red stone to try and open up to get at the shot in the 4-foot, but I'm not 100% sure. Hard to tell. Mainly because I've been watching sheet A and thinking about barbecue. So Carelli is going down, getting ready to deliver his hammer here. No, his final stone. Jack has the hammer. So it looks like he is going to try and draw down to that red so that Jack can't get anything more than one. And then he will try his luck with getting 2 or 3 in the 7th. If he gave up one here and got a 3-drop in the 7th, they'd be coming home and the score would be 8-6. He would need to steal a 2 to tie, and that's not outside the realm of possibility. So this is a very kind of forward thinking, I'm thinking the long game move by John Carelli. So the shot is being released right now. He comes out of the hack. Shot is underway. Sweepers are walking with it. Will be coming into view in about 10-15 seconds. Sweepers give a quick scrub to it, but they're pretty much walking. Now they're on it. They are on it as it comes right up to the hog line. Should be in view momentarily. Here it comes. That's the wrong view. That's why you can't see it. There it is. He needs to get right up against that yellow. And he does not freeze to the yellow, but he leaves himself in a good spot. If Jack wants to, Jack would have to try to chip that out and stick around to get 3. And it looks like that is what he is going to attempt to do. I apologize there. I have my cameras backwards. You were looking at far C while I was talking about near A. So rest assured, I make better mac and cheese than I do on broadcasting. Eric Sebastian is over here. I have heard great things about your mac and cheese, by the way. I just think mine's pretty good. That's right. Oh, it's all about the spicing. It's not about the cheese. It's about what you do with the. I don't smoke my cheese. Okay. Well, you know what? The gauntlet has been cast down, and if you want to challenge a mac and cheese challenge, I'll do it with you. We'll do it during the Blarney. Yeah. Jeff Hannon is sitting down, and he has some mac and cheese. I think he would welcome a mac and cheese challenge between the two of us.
I could be part of that.
There you go. We already have a judge lined up. So right now what we're waiting on, we're on to skip rocks over on sheet C, as you just saw a moment ago. Let me go back to that really quick. So this is what you're looking at on sheet C. But I want to go to sheet A because Jack Miller is delivering his hammer. And if he can chip out this red, he is going to take 3 and put John Carelli in a really difficult position. Here comes the shot. It is going to squeak by and not change anything, so it will be 1 red. Carelli gets a steal. He does not give up the 3, so a sigh of relief breathed by red. That is going to make the score 7-4. And in the seventh, yellow will retain the hammer. And now Carelli's got to be thinking steal, steal. He does not want to give up any more points at this point. Meanwhile, over here on sheet C, some discussion going on for Flanders' first rock. This game has been played out in front of the house. It's played inside the house. It's played everywhere today. So this is an interesting situation. A lot of great shot making in both these matches, but even more so on C. We've seen some really strong promotes. We've seen some doubles. It's been a very, very solid game over here on sheet C. So what is he doing here? I'm not quite sure. I think he's trying to figure out if he needs to angle in or if he can just draw in. The space is there, but he also, oh, he just gestured. He's looking at the promote as well. So he is really looking at his options. Apologize again to everybody for that brief stream interruption. It was an internet issue. It was not an issue on our part. We had the internet conked out on us momentarily, and that caused an interruption in the stream. But we are back, and we are live. And we are eating mac and cheese in the warm room. Are you eating your mac and cheese over there, Eric? It's good stuff. It's Jeff's giving it the seal of approval. I'm sure it's delicious. I just think mine's going to be better. I think this is a great idea. No, because I can't have carbs right now. I haven't even tried yours yet. I can't. I'm not supposed to. I've already cheated once this week. Shots underway. Nobody needs to hear about Brit's diet. Look at this. It's going to go right through that port. Is that going to stop somewhere nice for him? Oh, it's going to travel a little too far, but it's not all bad. It's going to... Are you kidding? It just sneaks through the back. I cannot believe that did not stick around. He made it through that port brilliantly, and it just carried a little too far for him. So Giuseppe says, let's not give him another opportunity to do that. I think he's going to put a rock up in that port or possibly into the 12-foot so that he's counting two. Either way, he does not want to give them a second opportunity to do that because that was gorgeous, and it literally just traveled just a little bit too far on him. Seventh end is underway over on sheet A. It's early on, though, so just one stone out of play and one stone in front of the house. We'll stick here for the skip rocks. Giuseppe's shot is on its way. Little flick at the end there. Don't know I normally see that on his release, but that's okay. It looks like it's got good draw, good guard weight, but it's also moving out. It does not appear to be catching the curl just yet. It's going to slow down. It's going to rest right up against those reds. So Jeff just made a gesture with his hand. Was that a result of him? It looked like he flicked it just a little bit as he released it. Yeah, just a little bit of a push out there. Easy to say. Easy for me to say. I'm a stick curler sitting in a warm room. What do I know? But it was a good attempt by Giuseppe, and it's still out there. What it does do is, and this is a shot that Flanders was looking at before his first shot, is it makes the promote more difficult. It's in a spot where if he wanted to shoot and promote one of his yellows, that would definitely impact his ability to do so. He's still looking at it as a possibility, but it's definitely not as easy as it was before Giuseppe put a red rock right in between those two yellows. So they're going to discuss this and try to figure out what they're doing. Let me go to the wide view so you can see there's just a couple of rocks out in front over on sheet A. Again, the score over there is 7-4. Carelli trying to set up another steal. I don't think he's comfortable giving up one and then having to get four with hammer. I think he's probably going to try and steal here. So Jay Flanders has come back down to the hack, though, so let's go back to the overhead view of where he's shooting to. And, yeah, it looks like he's going to just try and outdraw him here and get the one. That would leave him with a steal of one requirement in the eighth to tie in what has been a back-and-forth game where no team has taken multiple points. Shot is underway. Sweepers are running with it. It looks about the same weight as the last one. The port is still there, and this time, unfortunately, he hits the yellow guard and comes up short. So that is going to be 1 red. So that's going to increase the score to 5-2 in favor of Giuseppe Russo. Show you the wider view over here for A. Actually, let's get fancy. Let's go to the 6-house view for a few minutes. So what you're looking at right now is our 6-house view. On the bottom of the screen, you see the far houses where sheet A is active on the far end. And you'll see on the top side of your screen the near houses where sheet C is now active. The houses do line up, so A is lined up over A and C is lined up over C. So we'll stick here for a minute until we get an opportunity to look at a close-up on either one. Unfortunately, I don't have a close-up on A still. So I can make it a little bit bigger, but I can't get the close-up overhead like I can on the other houses. It's just that one camera does not give us a close-up. People starting to wander in now because we are an hour away from the first, second, and third event finals. I do like this 6-house view. It can be a little bit difficult to see just in general because it's, a lot of houses in a small area. But I do like this view because when you have a match like this one where we've got the 7th end proceeding on A and the 8th end proceeding on C, it does give me an opportunity to show not only the deliveries being made and the houses in play on both ends, but it allows me to show both houses that are scoring at the same time, and that's the key to me. Redstone underway over here on sheet A. I believe that is their second Brian Tully. And he is throwing what is the 7th rock of the end, so he can hit a guard, and he will hit the yellow guard, which Carelli is sweeping pretty hard just to make sure it gets out. It is out, but he wanted to be 100% sure. And it didn't get out by a ton, so that's probably a good play by John Carelli. Jack is looking at the house over on sheet A, trying to figure out what to do, because Carelli is definitely setting up a steal end right now. Sheet C is just underway in the 8th end. So I apologize. The score is 5-2. I may have said 4-2 previously, and so Flanders rank needs 3 to pull this one into a tie. Early on, we'll be following that closely. Right now, we're just kind of looking at the 7th end over on sheet A. Jack Miller is going to remove one of those red stones, and he does so, and also pushes the other guard out into the corner. So we have nothing in the house as of yet, but we have 2 yellow guards closer to the center line and a red guard out in the corner. And you have to think that with this being the 7th end, Jack has the hammer and is up 8-4. If Team Carelli fails to score here or gives up more than 1, that this is going to be a handshake after 7. I can't see John playing on in the 8th end down 5 with hammer. I mean, stranger things have happened for sure, but I just think they would probably at that point decide it's time for some lunch. Hopefully that won't come to pass. Maybe he can get a steal of 2 here and make for an amazing 8th end. Continue with our multi-view setup over here. Right now on sheet C in the near 8th end, we are on 2nd rocks, and the count right now is 1 for yellow. They need 3 to force a tie. Comes the second rock. It is curling. I think Giuseppe is trying to draw in behind the yellow. The line looks good. It's curling, but I think it's a little heavier. Question is, will this stick? Jay Flanders is on it, and he is just going to get it out past the back line. That's a shame. Good for Jay. It's a shame for Team Russo, which is Team Bertonica. Meanwhile, over here on sheet A, we have another trade of stones. The red stone goes out of play. The yellow stone sticks around, and we have a yellow in the back 12 at the moment. Just to show you, we're working on the customization here. They have created something they call the Octobox here, This is just crazy views. I'm not going to leave that on. That hurts my eyes. But we are working at Nutmeg to try and give you as many views of our ice as humanly possible. On sheet C, the yellow rock is going to squirt right through. And let's go take a look. Let's go back to the regular three-house view on the far end, because that's the best view I can give you of A. And it looks like the red from Team Carelli has snuck into the 4-foot there. It's not guarded, but there is a jam possibility with the yellow behind it. Jack's going to go after it either way. If he jams on this, though, that would set up a potential for a 2-steal. So this is an important shot from Craig Steffen. Shot's underway. It has got plenty of weight. Here it comes into view. And it successfully noses the red and knocks it straight back and out, so leaving 2 yellow in play. Meanwhile, let me show you what's going on over here near A. That's the wrong button. Near C, I meant. We've got the 1 red counting. We've got the 2nd red in the 12-foot, and ooh, that red and that yellow. Off the top of my head, I couldn't tell you definitively which one is counting. I would like to say the red. Yellowstone coming in. I think they were going for that outside red, and it just curled a little bit more on them. So right now, we've got the setup right now where Giuseppe is going to try and, I think, draw in slash guard here. I would love something right on the center line on the 12-foot if I were him. Maybe biting 8. Looks a little heavier than he wanted, though. Maybe this is going to bury forehand, which would be even also a great idea. If it slows down, it's got to slow down a little bit. Oh, it's going to be by the front guard, but it's going to redirect off that red. And it's going to be useful. And now the count is most definitely 2 red if it wasn't before, and possibly 3. Let us switch back to the wide view so I can show you sheet A. Sheet A still has those 2 yellow stones as we get to Carelli's first rock. And the angle is there. I don't know how covered it is, but he is definitely throwing takeout weight. There is a possibility he gets the angle here for 2. Let's see what happens. He's going to get the 1. He's going to get the 2, but it's a jam, and so only 1 will go out. That's a rough angle with that guard out there. Even though it's not lined up, it does make it a little bit more difficult to get the angle you want on a double there. Meanwhile, over here on sheet C, we have a yellow rock on its way. It looks like it is going to skinny by its guard. It is going to hit, and it's going to roll out into the outer 12 right up against its partner out there. And now I think that red is a little bit closer, but the yellow on the far side is the one that I think might be second stone. So it's still definitively 1 red with a possibility that it's 2. Pam's going to deliver her stone now. Jack Miller is just on his way down the ice over on sheet A for his first rock, so we'll stay with this for this shot. And Jack's going to confer with the sweepers anyway. The red stone from Pam is curling a lot, and it is going to fail to cross the hog line, unfortunately. Jack is still talking to his sweepers and getting into the hack, so we'll stick here for a sec. As soon as Jack Miller releases his stone, we will go back to the 3-way view so you guys can see what's going on over on A. Here comes the stone from Jack. He just released it. It looks like draw slash guard weight. I think he is just trying to prevent Carelli from doing a pushback and sitting 2 on his last stone. It's curling nicely. If it sits right up against that other yellow but touching the center line, it'll be perfect. That is a gorgeous guard. That is going to make Carelli's life very difficult. I'm not sure what he's going to do here. He looks like he's definitively, though, calling that that draw. So, I mean, I guess what he's thinking is that I can steal 1 here. I have an opportunity to steal 2 in the 8th, and then I've got a tie game. Meanwhile, over here on sheet C, a couple of the guards have moved as we are now up to Giuseppe's first. No, this is Giuseppe's. No, this is Giuseppe's first stone. Giuseppe's first rock. I believe it is. Let me count some rocks here. 2, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 6 reds have been thrown. So this is the 7th rock and Giuseppe's first. Again, yellow needs to get 3 here to force the tie. So they've got 2 left in the bin. That red stone in the 8-foot is their biggest problem because I'm not sure which else is counting. I think it's 2 red, but I could be wrong about that. Giuseppe is going to, well, maybe I'm wrong about that because Giuseppe's very interested in this stone out here in the 12-foot, and he is going to try and chip it out, and he is going to do so and roll out himself. So now I think I can definitively say it is now 2 red because that red on the 12-foot is a touch closer than the red on the yellow. I'm sorry, the yellow on the 12-foot. And so now they'll have to decide what they're going to do. Meanwhile, here comes John Carelli's hammer. It looks like he's going for the draw to take 1. If he can get 1 here, he has successfully stolen twice in a row, and he's cut the lead to 2. Gives him an opportunity to try and play the 8th with a steal for 2 to tie this game up. So both games, despite lead changes and back and forth, both games are still coming down to the wire. Still discussion going on down here on C as how to best approach this. It looks like, interesting. It looks like he's talking about a hit and roll off of the stuff in the 12-foot to try and improve their standing. Jack Miller's shot is on its way. And here comes the stone into view. Carelli's stone is going to come up short. And I believe that means the count is going to be 1 yellow. Well, that was a draw for 2. My apologies. That would have cut the lead 7 to 6. Instead, it cuts the lead 7 to 5. And now Carelli will be down 2 without hammer in the 8th coming home. So we will play on through the 8th end in sheet A because of Team Carelli's exceptional chipping. Oh, I'm sorry. No, that is 1 yellow cheese. All right. The score is 8 to 4. So Carelli needs a steal of 4 to tie. Meanwhile, the war room begins to fill up. Over here on sheet C, I did not see the shot, but I see that there is a red out of play and a yellow in the 12-foot, so the count is now down to 1 red. Now, the problem being is he needs 3 here to tie. He's got 2 rocks in play, and he's got 1 left to throw. So whatever happens here, he can't afford to lose a rock. And so Giuseppe, knowing that, is going to go after that yellow rock in the 12-foot, knowing that if he eliminates that rock from play, it will only be a potential count of 2 yellow, and the match will be over. So this is a hit this shot and go have some lunch shot. Shot is underway. Plenty of weight from Giuseppe Russo. This is going to be all about just making sure the stones impact each other. Weight is there, coming into view. It's going to hit that yellow and roll out of play. And that should result in handshakes. Well, they'll throw the last rock anyway. Why not? So the score, well, the score is not officially final. Jay Flanders will throw his last rock. And Team Bertonica, headed up by Giuseppe Russo, will win the 5th event Pez dispensers. And then we'll just be left with the wrap-up of the 4th event over on A. Jay throwing his rock. It's the last rock. It doesn't really matter, unfortunately. I think Jay just wants to see if he can actually hit this. And it's just going to go past where he wanted to go anyway. So a fantastic match over on Sheet C. Your final score will technically be 6-2 in favor of Team Bertonica. But just great curling all around. So let's take a look. Near A, here's what we're looking at for the Carelli finale. Carelli has got to steal 4 here to force a tie. He's got 2 out in front of the house. Here comes a shot for Jack Miller, and he's going to throw through. Jack is not, I think Jack is intentionally throwing through at this point. I don't think he's wants to give anything for Team Carelli to work with. And until Carelli puts something in the house, he's not going to worry about it. So the 5th event players about to make their triumphant entrance into the warm room. You will hear applause in a moment as the 5th event folks come in. And you'll hear, and the Flanders rink is proceeding in as a team unit right now, so you will see them all proceed. You'll hear clapping again in a moment. Meanwhile, here comes the shot from Brian Tully. More clapping. Carelli's shot goes into the back 12, and now Jack has something to worry about, so he's going to go right after it. It did tuck in a little bit there. It is not clearly open, but because it is so far back, he will be able to reach it. Patrick lines up the shot. It's coming down. And is it going to chip it out? No, unfortunately. It's a miss on the takeout. And now Team Carelli is in business. So they are going to try and split the house here and put something up on the right-hand side. Ooh, Jacksonville, Kansas City is on TSN today. Yes, I see that from across the room. That's a fantastic matchup. Someone might have to call the 12 o'clock if Britt watches that. Redstone on its way down here for Team Carelli. He is trying to split the house. He needs to steal 4 here. A little bit heavier than he wanted, but if he can get this to stick around, it's workable. Jack Miller's going to try and sweep it out the back of the house, and he is not going to be able to get it all the way out. It is going to cling there in the back 12, and now Team Carelli has 2 stones in the house where they need to steal 4 just to force a tie break. Jack is going to try and eliminate that stone right now. Craig Stefan Weiss is delivering his first rock at the end. It has got really solid weight. This is going to be all about line. There is a guard in play over there, so it can't curl too early. It looks like it's going to get by the guard. It does. Does it get the red? It does. Is it going to roll over and freeze? It is. There is not a lot of space between those 2 stones. That's a really great shot by Craig Stefan. He eliminates one of the points that John Carelli was trying to set up and puts a yellow in play that he's going to have to deal with, but is pretty close to his own stone and is the counting shot right now. He's not going to worry about it yet, but he's going to have to worry about it eventually. So he'll have his Vice's first rock over to the side. They have rocks. They need 4. There's 1 in the house, 2 out in front, and they've got 4 left to throw. So there are 7 rocks that could potentially factor into this end. So from a point perspective, he is not dead yet. I've seen stranger things, folks, than a steal of 4 in the 8th. Trust me. Here comes the shot. It's got to slow down a little bit. Dig in a little. There it is. It's digging in. And John will try to sweep it a little further back himself. He would like that in the back 12, back 8, and he gets his wish. It is somewhat visible, though, so Jack will try to eliminate that stone, because stone elimination will end this game for them. Craig Steffel lining it up. Comes out, throws the rock. This one looks like equal weight. So it's going to, again, all be about holding that line. Sweepers are walking with it. They seem ready to roll, but they're just staying with it. An unfortunate moment to cough, because I would have liked to call that. But he does successfully take out the red stone. And it's still a count of, now it's a count of 2 yellow. I was going to sneeze there. All right, so Carelli is starting to run out of granite. He has 3 rocks left to throw. He's looking at a count of 2 yellow, but he's got something in the house. He's got stones out front. He has got to find a way to turn this into a count of 4 red when it's all said and done. So right now he is just trying to put something tucked in. I think ideally he would like something in the 8-foot behind that guard. T-line no deeper than T-line. Shot is on its way. They're stepping up. They're all sweeping on it now. All 3 of them are sweeping on it. And that is because it is going to promote their own red and just probably make it a biter. But biters may matter here. Jack Miller is not going to risk it. He is going to try and remove that stone so that this is not even a conversation to be had. I have to sneeze. Okay, so Jack is lining up his first stone of the end. Let's see what we got here now. Jack just really wants to get stones out of play. He knows that granite is precious right now for Team Carelli, and if he can just knock stones out, they can end this and come have some lunch with us. So here comes the shot from Jack Miller. More curlers starting to wander in. We have another draw at noon. Shot is on its way. Sweeping is taking place. And he will successfully eliminate one of the red stones, and his yellow will remain out there as a guard. That's not really ideally what you want, because that's something that John can use to hide behind, but you got rid of the red stone, and that's the important part. So Carelli has 2 shots to work with. He's got to find a way to turn these 2 shots into 4 points with the house that you see before you right now. Not an easy task. This is not impossible, but it is also going to take a great team effort here to make this happen. Just a reminder, we do have the finals coming up at noon. For those of you who will be with us for the afternoon draw, we have 3 matches at noon. That should be interesting to call. I haven't had a 3-match draw yet, so this will be very interesting. All right, so Carelli appears to be interesting. There is a possibility that Carelli could double those yellows out and stick around, in which case every stone in the house would be red. If he can... Oh, he's switching the target now. He's having a discussion with his vice. He wants to make sure he gets this perfect. There's no margin for error. This has got to be perfect on their end. I believe what he is going to try to do is hit that yellow on the top side. What your screen would be top side, from my view, would be right. and roll it over towards the other yellow, the one that's further towards the top of your screen. If he can do that and push both out of the rings, he opens himself up for a lot more opportunity with his last shot. Now, of course, Jack has a shot yet to throw too. So even if this goes according to plan perfectly, Jack is going to have an opportunity to respond to it and make life difficult for John. But, you know, kudos to Team Carelli. I mean, don't forget, at one point, they were down 7-1, and they have clawed back into this and refused to give any ground on their way to this 8th end. The Carelli shot is underway. It looks a little light from my point of view. They are scrubbing it. Oh, maybe I'm wrong. It should be coming into view any second now on your screen. Here it comes. This might have enough leg. And it looks like, nope, it was not the shot I thought he was trying. Instead, I think he's just trying to draw down in front of that yellow. The count is 1 red, but with 1 stone each to throw, I'm not quite sure how Team Carelli is getting the 4 here. I don't see a path to 4, particularly if they do if Jack Miller is able to accomplish a shot he's just called, which is he's going to try and sit right in front of the red stone that Team Carelli just put in play. If he can freeze to that stone, this game is essentially over. John will still throw the last stone because you never know, but this match might be on its way to the warm room. Well, we'll be on its way to the warm room unless he pulls up a tie. And then it'll be time for lunch. And then it will be time for lunch for the broadcaster too, because they will be a draw at 12, which I think I am signed up to do. Jack Miller's shot has been released and it's on its way. Here it comes. Coming into view. I don't know that's going to make it all the way back there to that red. It might. Sweepers are trying to get it there, coax it as deep as they can, and it's into the 8-foot. And that is a difficult spot too, because he can't leave that stone there, but he's also got to find a way to get 4 out of this. John Carelli indicating where he wants the broom. Not quite sure how what he's thinking of doing here. If he nails that yellow stone in the 8-foot, pushes it back to the stone that's on the center line in the 12, and gets them both out without moving a single red, that leaves him with a count of 2, maybe 3. And that's not going to be enough. But we'll do it. Why not? See what we can do here. 1 sweeper on this particular one. I don't know where his other sweeper went. Here comes the shot. Carelli, a ton of weight. Brian is struggling to keep up with it. There's so much weight on this. Let's see what happens here. He is on that yellow. He hits it. He sends it flying out. The red spills. It's going to be a count of 1 red, and that's going to make the final score 8-5 in favor of Team Miller. Congratulations, they win the 4th event. So I'm going to sign off so I can get some lunch. We will be back at noon with the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd event finals. We want to thank you for joining us. My name is Britt. We will see you guys back here around noon. Take care.